Thank you, everyone. All right, thank you, everyone. We are already moving to the next session. I will invite everyone to take a seat so that we can also welcome all the speakers on the stage. So this session is still about Copernicus. We will explore the Copernicus contributing missions, success stories of a vibrant market. And I will invite on stage the two moderators that will accompany us during this session. We have Peggy Fischer, Mission Manager of ESA third-party missions and Copernicus contributing missions from ESA, ESRIN, and Catharina Bamps, Policy Officer at DEFIS, European Commission. Thank you both. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Good morning. We kick off immediately. Peggy, you have the floor.
Welcome to this Agora session, and I am very happy to moderate this together with Catharina Bamps from DG DEFIS. And we are inviting the 6 companies to please come to this panel, which is Orus, GEOSAT, Aerospacelab, Unseenlabs, SatVu, and Mobile Imaging. And before we go into the moderation, I would like to invite my ESA colleague, Pierre, head of the Copernicus Space Office, to give some introductory words to this session.
Thank you, Peggy. Maybe we wait a couple of seconds. So, hello everybody. I'm very pleased on behalf of VISA to introduce these sessions with our colleagues at the European Commission. As you know, the Copernicus contributing missions make an essential part of Copernicus program today. We have been working very closely with the European Commission over the past years. These activities delegated to ESA, the funding is coming from the EU, from the Commission. And over the past years, there have been major changes and modernization regarding the Copernicus contributing missions in terms of providing precision, timeliness, covering a wide range of thematic areas. And this is required in order to support, of course, the needs of the Copernicus services, but also the needs of the EU institutions, the policies, and some projects from Horizon Europe. So traditionally, we had the Copernicus contributing missions in the domain of very high resolution optical and radar. And this has been complemented over the years with a new type of data in the domain of thermal infrared, hyperspectral, atmospheric composition monitoring, and also recently radio frequency. So initially in 2023, we had 9 contracts with startup, these 9 emerging open data providers, which was selected. And for the first time, we had commercial hyperspectral, thermal-infrared, atmospheric composition solutions. And last year, and this is the object of this session today, we had 6 additional new space companies. And for the first time, we had a new domain, which is radio frequency. So today, you will see with these 6 new companies what they are providing, what are their capabilities. So we have in the domain of multispectral VHR, GEOSAT, and Mobile Imaging. And then we have SatVu in the thermal infrared, Orus in the hyperspectral, and Unseenlabs and Aerospacelab providing radio frequency data. And now I pass the floor to my colleagues, Catharina Bamps from the European Commission, Policy Officer at DG DEFIS, and my colleague Peggy Fischer, Manager of the CCM activities at ESA. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pierre. Normally, my head of unit, Mauro Facchini, will give a speech also, but he's not yet here. We have a very good and dynamic public and very dynamic space companies. So we will already kick off with the questions, if that's okay for you. Before that, sorry, let me introduce everybody. I have here from SatVu, yeah, James O'Connor, welcome. I have from Marble Imaging, Gopika Suresh, welcome. I have Clément Gallic, yes, thank you, from Unseenlabs. Véronique Revel from Orus, thank you. I have Pierre Wilhelm from Aerospacelab Switzerland. And last but not least, bem-vindo, Francisco Vilhena da Cunha. So welcome. And we kick off with the first question. I give the floor to you.
Thank you, Catharina. So this Agora will feature stories of a vibrant market within the Copernicus contributing mission activity. And now we are going to dive immediately into the questions. And we are very happy to have the 6 speakers with us. I will start with GEOSAT. Francisco Vilhena da Cunha, in your role as Chief Executive Officer of GEOSAT, please let me start with a question for you. Can you please describe which are for you the key trends in your sensor domain or in general for your company?
Yes, thank you very much, Peggy. It's actually for us quite an honor to be here. We are both in Category 1 and Category 2, and I need to tell you that this provides us also with a very interesting way of approaching the challenges and the different views on Copernicus. So in this new contract, what we have pitched was the Atlantic Constellation precursor. So because for us it's very important to make sure that the Atlantic Constellation entered into operations already aligned with Copernicus priorities. And so this is why it was for us very relevant. In terms of the trends, and most of them we are also following them in the scope of the work that we are doing, of course the generative AI is pervasive. Not only on the operations, what type of roles can we perform with an agentic AI? How can we make every person a hub for different capabilities that they can deploy through AI, different AI toolkits? Of course, tied with AI, the cybersecurity, it's a moving target. And what we see, and we have been talking about defense every day, all day here, companies need to change the mindset. And so for cybersecurity, it completely changes the way, and you always need to be investing, not in Category 1, but in Category 2, for instance, with the rapid response. That was one of the big challenges that companies had to surpass. Then another interesting one that is puzzling our technical teams is this, I would not say shift, but going from radiometry to sharpness, meaning that our teams have a more scientific approach, and so they like images that are radiometrically coherent. But customers need beautiful images when they are doing image assessment or image analysis. And so there is this change in, okay, the radiometry will not be coherent, for instance, for VHR coverage purposes, but the image allows to quickly identify vehicles, edges, and so on. This is a mindset that comes in line with trying to fit to the expectations of users. Of course, onboard processing is always also coming. More and more, but for us it's something that we have mixed feelings. We still invest a lot in making sure that we have good downlink capabilities, because we had some 1 or 2 years ago to double the capacity in 1 week. We did that because the infrastructure for processing was on the ground. We could not have done that if it was in space. So for the next generation, we are still seeing downlink strategy as a cornerstone. And in the end, something that goes beyond our sensor domain. It's data fusion. We believe that competitiveness will come from the end-to-end, laptop to laptop. Our customers will not care if we are SIGINT, if we are optical, thermal, or other type of images. So the coordination that we have and being able to be in a forum with all these complementary capabilities, for us it's critical to being able to be competitive in the future.
Thank you very much. There's a lot of ambition for GEOSAT, and we're very happy also on ESA side to work with you. Thank you. Next question for you, Catharina.
Yes, thank you very much for the answer. Next question is from Marble Imaging. Gopika Suresh, in your role as Chief Strategy Officer and co-founder of Marble Imaging, it's the same question. What's your vision for the key trends in your sensor domain and in general for your company?
Thank you, Catharina. Hi, everyone. I will concur with a lot of what you said, so I'm not going to say something new. For us as well, we see, and this was also resonated yesterday all over the place, also this morning with all the space commanders, they say we need to we need to sense and we need to make sense. So that's exactly what we are also trying to do. So it's not just remote sensing anymore, but it's also making sense of it as quickly as possible and as detailed as possible for them. So the trends that we are looking at and what we are currently working on for the next generation satellites is also improving on the resolution, improving on or reducing the latency. Then we are also trying to bring on board, already on the first satellite we have a laser terminal, so this would allow direct on-device operations. These are the things that we're working on, not just with the first satellite, but the entire constellation.
Thank you very much. Very interesting feedback, and there is a good reason why you're part of the emerging data category, and we're looking forward to expand this collaboration in category 1, also with mobile imaging. The next question is for Aerospacelab. So now we move from very high resolution multispectral data to a completely new domain for the CCM activity, which is space-based radio frequency data. Pierre Wilhelm, in your role as Chief Executive Officer of Aerospacelab Switzerland, can you please highlight key trends in the radio frequency data domain, or in general in your company?
Thank you, Peggy. Good morning, everyone. So our journey into the Copernicus services has been particular because we started with the VHR, so imagery, and now we're also complementing this with radio frequency. And I would say in our domain, and I will echo what Francisco was saying, with radio frequencies it's very intangible. So it's information, but that you cannot show like a beautiful picture. And therefore, the interpretation is key, and the data fusion as well. So those are two key trends, I would say, in our domain. And yes, very happy also to be part of the other missions by also being a satellite manufacturer for our other colleagues in the Copernicus contributing missions. Because yeah, Aerospacelab might be more known for the manufacturing capabilities and our role in IRIS² potentially, rather than the EO domain. But yeah, so.
Thank you, and we're looking forward to explore more the use of radio frequency data in the context of Copernicus. Next question for you, Catharina.
Okay, but then if you allow me, sorry, I'm going to introduce Mauro Facchini, head of unit of the Earth Observation Unit. So please, Mauro, you have the floor.
Thank you very much. First of all, sorry to be late. It's not just a lack of respect. I have full respect for what you're doing. It's simply the fact that here is everything is crazy. Also, almost killed myself coming down from the 4th floor, coming down to be on time. So it's really a pleasure to see you here. I think that you do a great job. I have to say also, Isa and my colleagues in the Commission, I think they did a great job in order to have to give you some opportunity. We had the first batch of 9, now you are the new 6. So, and we expect a lot from you, I have to say, because we have seen what are your what you can do for the future, and we hope that with the thin support that you are getting from us, this will help you may give to back this support to us in some time with your satellites, constellations, because we really think that if you have been chosen to do that is because we see not just to build your own business, but because we see that there are also potential opportunities of cooperation for the future. You know that we are living in a world, indeed, we speak about Sentinels, Copernicus, and so on, but we are speaking more and more about the possibility to have constellation that are mixed constellation, virtual constellation, where we try to mix everything, and where the role of the market is more and more important, in particular in areas that we don't cover with the Sentinels for obvious reasons. So, thanks for being here, and we really wait for you in the future.
Thank you very much, Mauro. We go then back to radio frequency. We go to Unseenlabs. Monsieur Gallic. Go ahead, please.
Yes, so thank you very much. Unseenlabs, as you said, we are a brand new sector in Earth observation. Just for the record, we have launched our first capabilities 7 years ago, and we have now a full constellation of 90 satellites in space. So even if radio frequency is brand new in CCM, and we are very happy to be integrated in CCM for sure, we are fully operational, and we are working worldwide with battlefield-proven actions with multiple governments and customers. So our part is to bring in CCM category 1 already an operational system, and of course what you said is very important. We are multi-sensors, we need to deliver intelligence, and we need to deliver report and answer the questions of our customers, and not just only deliver data. And that's actually what we did with the rest of the world. So now the idea is to bring our knowledge as a private operator to date with operational capabilities, and face it to the request of the end user of European Commissions and Europe, the whole Europe. So the idea is to close the gap between the two worlds. We have seen how it could be used, RF sensing worldwide, and let's adapt it to be sure that we cover the request of the European entities. So for us, it's a very we are happy to be integrated and happy to help everyone to step up.
It's actually great to hear that CCM is helping to educate the entire space market on the radio frequency capabilities, and we hope that these data demonstrations will lead to a concrete uptake in Copernicus.
Exactly.
The next question is for SatVu. So now we are going to another data domain, from radio frequency to thermal infrared, high resolution thermal infrared data. James O'Connor, in your role as head of imagery at SatVu, could you please further elaborate which are the benefits for you as a company to contribute to Copernicus?
Yeah, thanks so much, Peggy, for organizing the session and for everyone for coming. So yeah, I think the benefits for us outside of the financial incentives are aiming to hit ESA's very high and well-established benchmark on data quality, cybersecurity, and reliability. The things we've been hearing so much about over the course of this meeting so far. So I think from our perspective, we can mark our own homework if we want to, but ultimately that independent assessment gives us a lot of validity, a lot of legitimacy in the market that we can go to potential customers outside of CCM as well as the CCM service providers. I think secondly, probably in common with the RF providers, education's a big piece for us, because a lot of when we speak to customers, they look at our beautiful imagery. Thankfully, we can create images, but they kind of want it to be like optical more than actually deriving the insights that thermal uniquely gives. And so the second big opportunity for us is allowing us to put us into this marketplace with synergistic sensors. We can unlock a lot of that latent value that already exists and capability on orbit. For us, it's particularly important because of how different I think our data set is to the other established providers. And then lastly, it's direct access to service providers, because they're the people day to day who will be using it operationally. We can customize the solutions to their needs. And for us, that's a key unlock, especially with ESA as a very established moderator for those discussions. So that's my 2 cents.
Thank you very much. We're really looking forward to the thermal capability being onboarded into the Copernicus context and together with other thermal providers, but I think this is going to be a very interesting and important data domain to be used in Copernicus as well.
Agreed.
Next question for you.
Yes. And we come to the hyperspectral data provider, Orus. Véronique, you're heading business development at Orus, yes? Can you please tell us which are the benefits for your company, for Orus as a company to contribute to Copernicus?
So thank you for integrating Orus in the CCM. We are very happy to work with the Commission. So let me first give you a few words about the company. So Orus is a startup that was funded in 2024 and is developing a global commercial service delivering high-resolution hyperspectral data sets. So Orus is deploying its sovereign solution called I4Uses, combining a constellation of Veneer, SWIR, hyperspectral microsats, and a fully integrated proprietary end-to-end data processing chain. So to answer to the benefits for Orus, in my perspective, I would say that first, contributing Copernicus provides technical validation of the highest European standards, ensuring our sensors and data meet operational scientific grade requirements. Second, it definitely accelerates market adoptions, as all of us said before, giving our data exposure to the commission agencies, service providers, and aggregators across Europe, shortening the path from availability to operational use. Third, it allows us to co-develop future services and standards and to leverage ESA's expertise to accelerate our maturity while aligning our roadmap with Copernicus expansion missions and emerging policy needs. Finally, it provides long-term demand visibility and business stability, anchoring our commercial strategy in a reliable institutional framework, while positioning Orus as a trusted European hyperspectral reference across civil, commercial, and security applications. So Copernicus for us really acts as a force multiplier for downstream adoption, especially in an emerging market as hyperspectral.
Thank you very much, and it's very good to see and to hear how CCM is helping you to validate technically your sensor, but also to reach the highest European standard, as you say, to comply or adopt to the market, as well as to align your roadmap to the expansion missions, which is very good. We're now entering the second round of questions, last round, and we start again with GEOSAT. Francisco, the next question is for you. Could you please explain which are the benefits for you as a company to work in CCM and Copernicus?
Okay. Thank you, Peggy. For us, as we are both in Category 1 and Category 2, we see the two sides of Copernicus and the two sides of this interaction. And for us, it's very critical because, well, Copernicus is the ultimate Earth observation program. There are many, there are the other ones in the US and so on, but the breadth and the recognition of Copernicus we don't see with other programs. So it is something that we want to be connected with. Then we want to be connected as well because it's also part of our identity. It's never just about business. GEOSAT is a company created as an European company. We have made a lot of options to make this possible. And options means saying no to investors, saying no to certain contracts, to make sure that our European footprint was reliable and something that could be long-standing. And Copernicus helps us to, well, gives us a backing for this option that we currently have. And in fact, with you and with the management of Copernicus, our experience ranges from having to deliver in Category 2 imagery in, we have to say, the most stringent conditions that we have anywhere. And on the other hand, also to have your support to develop the future together. So this is quite relevant for us. And I have to say, I appreciate on our day-to-day basis, our interaction is with ESA. And it's, well, it's not because Peggy is here, but it has been quite amazing. It has been quite amazing. It's very competent. Negotiations that are very hard, but are very respectful and are constructive. This is the type of thing that I prefer because I like public officials to be very good in what they do, and that means being hard on companies. So that's okay. And well, thank you for that. For the Atlantic constellation, it's different from Spain. Spain has hired directly the European Space Agency. It's easier to do that way. We had not, so we found this way of making sure that we were able to get the coordination that we need because we already have the institutional alignment with the Portuguese Air Force, as you know. I believe it's here. to make sure that whatever we were doing was consequent in terms of user needs. But then we needed something that sometimes we don't have in other programs, which is the programmatic approach. It's making sure that we go step by step, not only the technological validation, I'm fully in agreement with that, but the programmatic approach. In some other funding schemes, more national ones, we are managed at an administrative level. Okay, there's the invoice, there's the payment slip, there's something, okay, you have spent the money, that's okay, then there will be a technical evaluation. Being able to assess a program from a programmatic approach and technical approach is something that I think substantially helps companies. And finally, the approach on starting with user needs, it was also critical for us, and doing that in a guided manner. Because when we go to a non-expert user of EO and ask what you need from satellites, they don't know what to say. They have never used a satellite image. They try to open it, and it's crazy. They cannot do that. And so this needs to be an elicitation process. And being able to do this together, to work together with users, with ESA, and the Commission following closely, is something that for us has been an added value as well.
Thank you very much. And I think it's excellent to hear that Copernicus keeps companies like GEOSAT in Europe. And that is also a program Copernicus and CCM is pushing you to deliver excellence like everybody else in this panel. Next question.
Yes. Just before, I confirm, indeed, it's great working with a professional like Peggy and the whole team. It's a professional team, so yeah, thank you very much for that. And it's very good that you pointed out, and so also Mauro pointed it out, the importance of a European-owned and European-controlled company, this European strategic autonomy. So thank you very much for pointing that out. We go back to marble imaging. Yes, ready? Gopika, can you briefly, marble imaging, multispectral data, can you briefly describe in which way your data are groundbreaking for Copernicus?
Gladly. So for all of you who don't know Marble Imaging, we are a German company in Bremen, and we are developing our own constellation of very high-resolution satellites. The first satellite, which is participating also in CCM, is going to provide data, sub-meter data in the multispectral and shortwave infrared range, and we're looking at data spatial resolutions after pan-enhancing at about 70 centimeters. But the entire constellation is aiming for 50 centimeter resolution data. So in that sense, in today's geopolitical day and age, with all of the discussions around, it is a no-brainer as to who is going to profit from these very detailed, very high-resolution images. And that also is exactly what CCM is empowering. There is a big group of Copernicus services who need this kind of very high-resolution data. And not just very high-resolution imagery that comes once every month, but you need high-frequency, very detailed, high-resolution imagery. And that is exactly what Marble Imaging is targeting. We want to, we're launching our first satellite this year, but we are targeting a constellation of 20 satellites providing daily global coverage and hourly revisits over Europe. So this is what is the groundbreaking thing. And not just for reconnaissance, surveillance, things like that, but also for validation for any of the Copernicus products that currently exist. You need to always have very high resolution data to validate, let's say, the land monitoring services or things like that. So that's where we contribute.
Thank you very much. We're looking forward to the upcoming satellite constellation and the rapid mapping capabilities that it will offer. Next question for Aerospacelab. Similar question that we placed to the other companies. What are the main benefits for you to collaborate in Copernicus and in CCM?
Thanks for the question, Peggy. So the first benefit I see is that we have started with this RF sensing venture as a playground. So we developed the whole satellite, including the payload, and having the Copernicus services as an entity that accompanies us in this adventure was extremely helpful. First, because we started from the technical side, so with a techno push, you always need to be steered by the market needs, and therefore having access to the end users is extremely valuable to us, so that in the next iterations of this product, because again, I will focus on the fact that we are a hardware manufacturer, that in the next iterations we have something that is much more oriented towards specific needs, maybe different variants, but yeah, one of the benefits is exactly this way we get along together with the users, and that we have this playground that gets structured. Another one, it was already mentioned, is the access to the services from also a technical standpoint. So you have very stringent cybersecurity needs. There are specific data formats. There are specific also ways to deliver the data. And all this needs to be put in place before we get into something more commercial and regular. And finally, also this was already said as well, it's about validation. So for us to have the ESA and Commission stamp on the data that comes out of our products is extremely valuable in marketing them at export or even inside Europe, because again, we also have a very strong Europe focus at Aerospacelab.
Thank you for this feedback, and it's very nice to hear that, of course, the collaboration allows you to look at critical user needs and also pushes your performance for data delivery. And we're looking forward to continue this collaboration.
Yeah, and it's very useful to hear the connection with the Copernicus services. And these are, I think, they themselves are also discovering, they indicate that they need this type of data, but it's also for them an adventure. And so thank you for accompanying that. Back to Unseenlabs, Mr. Galleg, here I am. Can you briefly describe in which way your data are groundbreaking for Copernicus?
Yes, of course. So as I said previously, we have operational constellation right now with operational data and intelligence. Yes, and typically, so we have our private vision, we have our private products we are selling worldwide. But which has been already said is data is great, intelligence is great, but we need to tailor the needs of the final customer. At Unseenlabs, we are luckily already working with some European entities, but we are not working with all European entities, and CCM is a perfect place to be to enhance the visibility on our products and enhance the ability to tailor the answers to the questions. That's a very, very good opportunity to be very close to the end user, to be sure that we are just not feeding them with data, useless data, but feeding them with answers to their questions. And part of the answer will be in RF, will be in optical, will be in electro-optical, it will be in SAR, and so on. So it's a very good opportunity to do that. And as you said earlier, geopolitically, we don't have much time to bring Europe a world solution. And I guess having the same room, I would say room, multiple entities, multiple private companies plus public entities, it's the perfect place and the perfect way to be sure that in a short term we will be able to disseminate commercial data, commercial intelligence, patrimonial data and so on at the same place for the same end users. So for us it's a huge opportunity to be closer in Europe, because we are also a fully European company, and it's dramatically positive for us. So thank you, Peggy, for everything.
We're very happy to have Unseenlabs in the CCM, and we are looking forward in this journey of empowering radio frequency in the Copernicus context.
It's you?
It's me, yes. Sorry. Last question, I believe, for this panel, and this goes to SatVu again, James. So the question is, again, the key trends in the thermal domain, so in your sensor domain, what are the key trends and what are the key trends in general for your company?
Yeah, thanks so much for the question, Peggy. I might just take the opportunity, inspiration from Gopika, to introduce the company a little bit. SatVu is a London, UK-based Earth observation company. We do high-resolution thermal imaging. By high resolution, we mean a sampling distance of 3.5 meters. To a lot in the room, that mightn't sound high, but for thermal, it's really groundbreaking. Kind of getting to resolutions that traditionally have only been in classified systems previously. So again, a key trend for us is really hammering on the education piece of why is this relevant? Why do I need it in both my civilian solutions and geospatial intelligence solutions? I think as well, picking on the trend of defense intelligence, the sovereign systems are typically have this OptSAR backbone, and thermal isn't really traditionally a part of that, and that's something that we'd like to see change. We'd like to demonstrate value, And the way to do that is to work with ESA as well as bigger institutions to show just why it's not just a nice to have, but a requirement. So that education piece is kind of horizontal for us. And then, yeah, another thing, as was previously mentioned by the GEOSAT contributor, all things platform related, basically how you can control the platform such that you can collect more imagery, you can slew faster. These kinds of things are all really core capabilities for us. So we look forward to seeing them develop more. Thank you.
You can. Thank you, James. And we're also looking forward to this continuation. And we're looking forward to the upcoming launch.
Not long now.
Yes, soon. It's soon.
I'll say within the next 2 to 3 months at the latest.
Okay, good.
If I can be that vague.
Thank you very much. And then last but not least, back to hyperspectral for Orus. Véronique, can you please describe briefly, look at the minutes, you have time, in which way your hyperspectral data are groundbreaking for Copernicus?
Thank you, Catharina. So within the CCM, we engage in data demonstration activities. First, with data pilots with our hyperspectral drone, and then with the demonstration in orbit to be launched in 2027. So in Orus perspective, our contribution to Copernicus is to bring new information at scale, which does not exist, in complement to Copernicus Sentinel missions, which are the multispectral and radar foundation in terms of coverage, scientific quality, and continuity. So what hyperspectral high resolution data adds is the ability to detect materials and surface conditions pixel by pixel based on the spectral signatures, enabling detection, identification, and quantification of phenomena at intrafield, site, or asset level, expanding what Copernicus can monitor, quantify, and act upon. So the bundle of Orus payload, native operational performance, scientific-grade image correction models, and classification algorithms allows to deliver high-quality data sets, derived information products, or insights with unmatched confidence and precision, benefiting Copernicus services in agriculture, environmental monitoring, security applications. So in that sense, I would say that for Copernicus, it's not only a performance gain, but it's a capability gain, strategic, as it expands Copernicus missions, especially for emerging needs like defense ISR, climate resilience, environment and security enforcement.
Clearly, the hyperspectral data will bring a completely new layer of information to Copernicus, and we are looking forward on the use cases that can be shaped also with Orus in this context.
Thank you, Peggy.
You would like to
Wrapping up, congratulations. You have been very efficient. Congratulations. Please applause. Thank you very much. Excellent audience also, no complaints, so congratulations for you. I don't know, thank you very much. We're looking forward very much to seeing you evolve. You have seen, or you will see, the first batch of 9 companies, the progress they've made. So once again, you signed at the LPS, you signed last year, you signed the Living Planet Symposium, you signed the contract. We're a few months further, so it just keeps getting better. So congratulations, and thank you very much, everybody. Okay? Oh, yeah, Mauro.
As I see that there's still 1 minute, so I would like 2 wishes for you. So the first one, indeed, that actually you are successful, and possibly we could cooperate together in the future in the frame of Copernicus, the frame of EOGS, because most of your missions are very relevant also for security and defense. But second, and this I learned from what you said, is Copernicus is not just a business opportunity for us, for you, but it opened understanding of Earth observation in Europe. So maybe 20 years ago, Earth observation was what? Google Earth and very nice images from EUMETSAT. But today, it's much more than that. People really know that they can benefit from Earth observation. So they open a new market, and I hope that you will benefit from this increased knowledge in Europe that we were able, in a humble way, to open with Copernicus. So best wishes for you.